Judges, may I have your order, please? Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the men's and women's 1 meter event. We're going to start the event now. So first, we have Win Mitchell from Regina doing a 100A.
All right, we are ready to begin the Women's E 3 meter event. Round 1 of
Judges awards.
Flag first, Beth Lee from
5.5, 6.5, 6.5. Lachlan Riley from Regina doing a 100A.
Judges Awards.
Judges awards.
5.5, 6, 5.5, 5,
6, 5.5, 5.5.
On to Audrey Crowley from
Foxy
Regina.
Burnett from Regina doing a 100A. Judges awards. 7 across. Moving on to the women's E,
Judges
we
Awards.
have Ari McNaughton from Regina doing a 100A.
7. Moving on to Brooklyn Markson from Regina, 201B.
Judges awards. 7, 7.5, 7.5. Leah Perfetta from Revolution, 100A.
Judges Awards. 7, 7.5, 7.5.
Judges awards.
Moving to Mika Ward from Regina,
7.5,
101B.
7, 6.5. Jane Lafreniere from Saskatoon doing a 100A.
Judges Awards. 5.5, 5.5, 6, 5.5, 5.
Judges awards.
Followed by Robin Wallace from Revolution, 103B.
8, 7.5. Moving on to the men's E group tier 2, we have Carter Kennedy from Revolution doing a 100A.
Judges Awards. 6.5, 7, 6, 5.5. On to Elizabeth
Judges awards.
from Saskatoon, 401B.
6.5, 6.5, 7. Moving on to the women's E group tier 2, we have Isla Sutherland from Regina doing a 100A. Judges awards. 5.5, 6.5, 6.5.
Judges Awards.
Priya Burgess from Revolution doing a 100A.
6.5, 6.5, 6 across. On to Anna Wiley from Revolution, 103C.
Judges awards. 7, 6.5, 7. Bryn Latane from Regina doing a 100A.
7. On to Ellie Riggs from Revolution, 201C.
Judges awards. 5, 5.5, 5.5. Serena Kelly from Revolution doing a 100B.
5, 6, 5.5, 5.5. Next we have Nancy Leon from Forest City at 101B.
Judges Awards. 6, 6.5, 6. Addison Wingfield from Regina doing a 100A.
5.5 lacrosse. Next up, Katie Mitchell from Forest City at 103B.
Judges Awards. 7.5, 7.5, 7. Moving on to round 2 of the men's E, we have Win doing a 200A.
Next up, Annika Park from South Platoon at 103B.
Judges Awards.
6.5,
5.5,
7
6,
across.
6.5. Lachlan,
Next we have
200A.
Finley Sharp from Regina at 103B.
Judges Awards.
Judges Awards.
7.5, 7,
6.5,
7.
6.5,
Popsy, 200A.
Moving on to Autumn Johnson from South Platoon at 103B.
Judges Awards. 7, 7, 6.5. Moving on to the women's
Judges
E,
Awards.
Ari, 200A.
5.5, 5.5, 6.5, 6.5. Our final diver of the round, Addison Downey from Revolution 103B.
Judges Awards.
Judges Awards.
6.5, 7.5, 6.5. Leah, 200A.
On to round 2, we have Beth at 201B. Judges Awards. 6, 5, 5.5.
Judges Awards.
6. Next up, Audrey, 301B.
6, 7.5, 7.5. Jane, 200A.
Judges Awards. 4.5, 5, 4.5, 4.5, 5.
Judges Awards.
Brooklyn, performing 301B.
7.5, 7, 6.5. Moving on to the men's E group tier 2, Carter, 200A.
Judges Awards. 7, 6.
Judges Awards.
6.5, 7.
5.5, 5, 5. Moving on to the women's E group tier 2, Isla, 200A. Judges Awards. 6, 5.5, 5.5. Priya, 200A.
5.5. Next we have Robin, 201B.
Judges Awards. 6 and 1/2. 7 and 1/2.
6, 7, 6
Bridge,
and a half,
200A.
6 and a half. Elizabeth, 510-3B.
Judges Awards. 5 and 1/2. 5 and 1/2. Serena, 200A.
Judges Award. 5, 5, 5, 5, 4 and a half. Next we have Anna, 201C.
Judges Awards. 7 and 1/2. 7, 7. And our last diver for this round, Addison, 200A.
Judges Award, 5, 6, 4 and a half across. Next we have Ellie, 101B.
Judges Awards. 7, 7, 6 and 1/2.
Hey folks,
Moving on
looks
to
like
round
we
3
had
of the
a
men's,
glitch and we're all
we have Win,
fine.
101C.
Judges Award. 6, 6
Our
and a
next
half,
diver, Gwyn, is
6,
diving a forward
6,
dive with
6 and a half.
DD of 1.8.
Next up, Nancy, 201C.
Judges Awards. 6 and 1/2. 6, 6 and 1/2. Lachlan, 101C.
Lockley from Regina is also diving a forward dive with a DD of 1.8.
Judges Award. 5, 5, 4 and a half, 4 and a half.
Judges
5 and a
Awards.
half. Followed by
5 and 1/2 across.
201B.
Hawksley, 101C.
Hoxley, forward dive, DD of 1.8.
Judges Award. 6 and a half, 6 and a half, 6 and a half, 6 and a half, 7. Next up, Annika.
Judges
201B.
Awards. 5 and 1/2 across. Moving on to the women's E, we have Ari, 101C.
Ari is diving a 1.8
Judges Award.
forward dive.
6 and a
Judges
half,
Awards.
6 and a half, 7 and a half, 7, 7 and a half.
6, 5,
We have
5.
201B.
Leah, 101C.
Leah's diving a forward dive with a 1.8 DD.
Judges Awards.
Judges Award.
6, 5 and 1/2.
6 and a half,
6 and 1/2.
7, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7.
Jane, 101C.
Up next, Autumn, 201B.
Judges Awards. 6, 6, 6 and 1/2. Moving on to the men's E, group tier 2, Carter, 001B.
Judges Award. 6 and a half, 6, 7 across. Aspen, 201B.
Next up, we have Carter diving a front jump. I'm sorry, not a front jump, with a front jump with a 1.0 DD.
Judges Awards. 7 and 1/2. 6 and 1/2. 7. Moving on to the women's E, group tier 2, Isla, 001B.
Judges Award. 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7,
Judges
round
awards.
3, and that's the 301B.
6 1/2, 6, 6. Priya, 001B.
Judges awards. 5.5.
Over divers in this round, Isla, Priya, Bryn, Serena, and
Next,
Addison
we
all
have
diving.
Audrey, 201B.
Judges awards.
Three difficulty of 1.0.
6 1/2 across. Bryn, 002A.
Judges awards. 5, 4.5, 5, 5, 5.5. Next up, Brooklyn, 103B.
Judges awards. 5, 5 1/2, 5 1/2. Serena, 001A.
Judges awards. 7, 7.5, 7.
Judges awards.
7.5. Monica, 201.
7 1/2, 7 1/2, 7. And our last diver for this round, Addison, 002A. Judges awards.
Judges awards. 5.5, 5, 5, 5.
7,
6.
6 1/2, 6 1/2.
Robin, 301C.
Starting round 4 of the men's E, win, 401C.
Judges awards. 5, 5, 5.5 across.
Judges awards.
Up next, Elizabeth, 201B.
4, 3 1/2, 4. Lachlan, 401C. Judges awards. 5 across.
Judges awards.
Hawksley,
6.5,
401C.
5.5, 6.5, 6.5. Next, we have Anna, 301C.
We have Hoxley with a back dive with a DD of 1.8.
Judges awards.
Judges awards.
6, 7, 6 1/2.
6.5.
Moving on to the women's E,
Ellie,
Ari,
301C.
401C.
So Ari is diving a inward dive with a DD of 1.8.
Judges awards. 6 across.
3.5, 3.5.
Leah, 401C.
Leah with an inward dive, a DD of 1.8.
All right, moving on to Nancy, dive 301C.
Judges awards.
Judges award. 6.5, 6.5, 7, 6.5,
2 1/2, 2
7.5.
1/2, 3.
Katie, dive 301C.
Shane, 201C.
Jane with a back dive,
Judges award.
1.8.
5.5, 6, 5.5, 6. Next we have Annika, size 301B.
Judges awards. 8 across. Moving on to the men's E group tier 2, Carter, 101C.
Judges award. 7, 7, 6, 7.
Carter with a forward dive
On to
with a DD of 1.2.
301B.
Judges awards. 6.5, 6, 6. Moving on to the women's E group tier 2, Isla, 002A.
6.5. Autumn, the 301B.
Isla dive is a degree of difficulty of 1.0. Diving the 002A.
Judges awards. 5, 5.5, 5. Priya, 002A.
6, 5.5, 6.5, 6.5, 7. Finally, Addison, size 301B.
Judges awards. 6, 5, 5.
6,
Bryn, 101C.
5.5.
Bryn is diving a forward dive with a DD of
On to
1.2.
round 4, F, 403B.
Judges awards. 5, 5, 5.5. Serena, 002A.
Serena's DD is a 1.0.
5.5. Audrey, 103B.
Judges awards. 6, 6.5, 6. Moving on to our last diver for this round, Addison, 201C.
Brooklyn, 5132B.
Judges awards. 5 across. Moving on to round 5 of the men's E, Win, 201C.
Win with a back dive, a DD of 1.8.
6.5, 6.5. Ika, 301C.
Judges awards. 6.5 across. Lachlan, 201C.
Judges award. 4, 4, 4, 4.5, 4.5. Followed by
Lachlan
Robin,
with a back dive 1.8.
Judges awards. 4.5, 4.5, 5. Oxley, 201C.
Judges award.
Hoxley from Regina
5,
is doing a back dive
5.5,
with a
5.5,
1.8 DD.
5, 6. Elizabeth, 301B.
Judges awards. 5.5, 5, 5. Moving on to round 5 of the women's E, Ari, 201C.
Ari with a back dive 1.8 DD.
Judges award. 3.5, 4, 3.
Judges awards.
3.5. Anna, 401C.
5.5, 5 1/2, 6. Leah, 201C.
Leah performing a back dive with a DD of 1.8.
Judges awards. 7 1/2,
Judges awards.
7.
5, 6.5,
Jane,
5.5.
301C.
Hallie, 401B.
Jane doing a reverse dive with a DD of 1.8.
Judges awards. 6,
Judges awards.
7.5, 6.5, 6. Give us 1 moment.
7, 8, 7 1/2. Moving on to the fifth and final round of the men's E Group Tier 2, Carter, 201C.
Carter performing a forward dive with a DD of 1.2. Correction, this is a back dive with a 1.5 DD.
All right, we're ready for the
Judges awards.
401B.
5, 6, 6. Moving on to the fifth and final round of the women's E Group Tier 2, Isla, 101C.
Judges awards.
Eli with a forward dive, 1.2.
6.5, 6.5.
Judges awards.
Katie, 401B.
5, 5, 6. Priya, 101C.
Priya with a forward dive, DD of 1.2.
Judges awards. 6.5, 6, 8 across. Annika, 403B.
Judges awards. 5, 5 1/2, 5 1/2. Bryn, 201A.
We have Bryn diving a back dive with a 1.7 degree of difficulty. It's a big dive.
Judges awards. 6.5, 6.5.
Judges awards.
7, 7.5. Next we have Finley, 403B.
4 1/2 across. Serena, 001B.
Addison performing a forward somersault with a degree of 1.4, and this is actually our last dive for the women's, or last dive for the women's E Group Tier 2.
Judges awards.
Way to go,
Judges
Ida,
award.
Priya, Bryn, Serena, and Addison. Great
7,
event.
7.5.
6 1/2, 6, 6 1/2. Addison, 102C. Judges awards.
Judges awards.
Correction, that was actually Addison. That was the last dive of the event with forward somersault
5
1.4.
1/2, 6 1/2.
Great job.
Closing of the
This
round
concludes
is
the men's and women's E Group Tier 2. Moving on to
You see our
the
results
final
on the
round of the
screen.
men's E.
Moving
We
on
have
to the
Win,
men's E.
102C.
On to the final round here, we have Win with a forward somersault 1.8 DD.
Judges award.
Judges awards. 7, 7, 6.5 across. Moving on to round 5 of 9, F, 5132D.
6 and 1/2, 6. Lachlan, 102C.
Next up, we have Lachlan. Have another Regina with a forward somersault. DD of 1.8.
5.5. 5. 5. 5. 5.5.
Judge's award,
Followed by Audrey. Touch 5, 2, 3, 1 each.
5 and 1/2, 6, 6 and 1/2. Moving on to our last diver of the men's E, Hawksley, 102C.
This is Hockley's final dive, and the final dive for this group. Hockley's diving a forward somersault with a 1.8.
6.5. 5.5. 6.5.
Judge's award,
7.5. Brooklyn, 4, 3,
7 and 1/2, across.
Great set of dives by the boys, and that concludes their
Women's E,
diving for this event.
Ari, 102C.
Next up, we have Ari starting the last round for the women's E. Ari is performing a forward somersault with a 1.8 DD.
Judge's award, 6 and 1/2, 7, 6 and 1/2.
Judge's award,
Leah, 102C.
Next up,
7
Leah
across.
with a forward somersault with a DD of
Pizza,
1.8.
5, 2, 3, 1 deep.
Judge's awards, 3, 2, 2 and 1/2. Moving on to our last dive for this event, Jane, 401C.
This is our final diver for this event here in the 1 meter side. We have Jane performing an inward dive with a DD of 1.8. 401C.
Next up, Robin, 5, 2, 3, 1 deep.
Judge's awards, 6, 6 and 1/2, 6. This concludes the women's and men's group
4.5. 4.5.
And that concludes
Thank you,
all of our
judges.
events here in
Thank
the
you,
1 meter
coaches.
side.
Thank you,
We are
guys.
actually going to segue over and continue bonus coverage here of the women's B 3 meter finals here. So thank you for joining us for this event. We're going to catch up to where they are right now and continue the broadcast from that side of the pool.
Judge's award. 4, 3.5, 2, 3.5, 3.5. Next up, Anna, 5, 2, 3, 1 deep. Judge's award. 7.5, 7, 7.5, 7, 7.5. Ellie, 5, 2, 3, 1 deep.
Okay, next up we have Ellie Ring from Revolution performing a 5-2-3-1D. Back 1.5 somersault with a half twist with a DD of 2.0.
Judge's award. 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 7. Nancy, 5, 2, 3, 1 deep.
So we have Nancy with a back 1.5 somersault with half twist performing the DD of 2.0. Nancy is based out of Forest City. 5-2-3-1D.
Judge's award. 7, 7, 7, 7.5, 7. Katie, 5231D.
Katie out of Forest City, 5231D, back 1.5 somersault with a half twist, the DD of 2.0.
Judges award 5.5, 6, 5.5, 5.5, 6.5. Annika, 5231D.
Annika's based out of Saskatoon with a 5231D, back 1.5 somersaults with a half twist, a DD of 2.0.
Judges award 6.5, 6.5, 7, 6.5, 7.5. Followed by Finley at 5231D.
We have Finley based out of Regina with a 5231D. She's going to be performing a back 1.5 somersault with a half twist, the DD of 2.0.
Judges award 6, 5.5 across. Autumn, 5231D.
Autumn from Saskatoon diving performing a 5231D, back 1.5 somersault with a half twist, a DD of 2.0.
Judges award 5.5, 5, 5.5 across. And completing the round is Addison by 5231D.
Addison from Revolution right here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, performing a 5231D, performing a back 1.5 somersault with a half twist, a DD of 2.0.
Judges award 5, 5, 5, 6, 6. On to round 6, Cap, 105B.
We're starting round 6 of 9 rounds here in the women's B3 meter. Next up, we have Beth from Kitchener-Waterloo performing a 105B, a forward 2.5 somersault with a DD of 2.4.
Judges award 6, 6, 5.5 across. Audrey, 5233D.
Audrey from Regina, a 5233D, a back 1.5 somersault with a 1.5 twist and a DD of 2.4. As we were for the dive, I'd like to thank our title sponsor, PSB Integrations. Thank you very much, PSB Integrations, for all your support for diving right here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Thank you, PSB Integrations.
Judges award 6, 6.5, 6 across. Brooklyn, 405C.
Brooklyn from Regina, 405C, performing an inward 2.5 somersault with a DD of 2.7.
Judges award 4.5, 5, 5.5, 4.5, 5. Mika, 103B.
Mika from Regina, 103B, a forward 1.5 somersault with a DD of 1.6.
Judges award 5, 5, 6,
Robin from Revolution 105C, performing a forward 2.5 somersault and a DD of 2.2.
Under the word, 5, 4.5 across. Elizabeth, 105C.
Elizabeth, forward 2.5 somersaults, DD of 2.2. Hello. Hello, Hungary. How are you guys doing? Thanks for joining us. I'd like to welcome all of our fans from across the world. Thank you for joining us here. Wayne Pigman.
Under the word, 5.5, 4, 5.5, 5, 5. Next we have Anna at 105C.
Anna from Revolution, a forward 2.5 somersault with a DD of 2.2. That's a great looking guy.
Under the word, 6.5, 7, 7.5, 7, 7.5. Ellie, 105C.
Next up, we have Ellie from Revolution, performing a forward 2.5 somersault with a DD of 2.2.
That is the word. 5, 5, 5.5 across. Nancy, 203C.
Nancy from Forest City, performing the 203C, back 1.5 somersaults with a DD of 1.9.
That is the word. 7, 7, 7.5, 7.5, 6.5. Katie, 105B.
Katie from Forest City, a forward 2.5 somersault with a DD of 2.4. Here we go.
That is the word. 5, 5, 5.5, 5, 6. Annika, 105B.
Annika from Saskatoon 105B, forward 2.5 somersault with a DD of 2.4.
That is the word. 5.5, 5.5, 6, 5.5, 5.5. Finley, 105B.
Finley from Regina, performing a forward 2.5 somersault with a DD of 2.4. 105B.
That is the word. 1.5, 2, 2, 1.5, 2.5. Autumn, 105B.
Autumn from Saskatoon, performing a 105B, forward 2.5 somersault, the DD of 2.4.
That is the word. 6.5 across. Paul by Addison, 105C.
Addison, our final diver here in round 6 of 9 rounds. Addison from Revolution diving a forward 2.5 somersault, a DD of 2.2.
Judges award 5, 6.5, 5, 6, 6. Moving on to round 7, Beth,
Our
203C.
leader after 6 rounds is Annika Park from Saskatoon with a 234.2. Next up on the board, we have Beth from Kitchener-Waterloo performing a back 1.5 somersault with a DD of 1.9. 203C.
Judges award 6.5, 6 across. Audrey, 105B.
Audrey from Regina performing a forward 2.5 somersault with a DD of 2.4, 105B.
Judges award 4, 5, 4, 4.5, 5. Brooklyn, 205C.
Brooklyn, second place after 6 rounds, is based on diving out of Regina, performing a back 2.5 somersault, a DD of 2.8, 205C.
Judges award 3, 3, 3, 3.5, 3.5. Mika, 403C.
Mika from Regina diving, performing an inward 1.5 somersault with a DD of 1.9, a 403C.
Judges award 5, 6.5, 4, 5.5, 6.5. Robin, 203B.
Robin from Revolution, a back 1.5 somersault, DD of 2.2, 203B.
Judges award 3.5, 2.5, 4, 3, 3. Elizabeth, 203C.
Elizabeth from Saskatoon diving, performing a back 1.5 somersault with a DD of 1.9, 203C.
Judges award 5.5, 6.5, 5.5, 5.5, 6.5. Next we have Anna, 203C.
Anna from Revolution performing a back 1.5 somersault with a DD of 1.9, a 203C.
Judges award 4.5, 5.5, 4, 4.5, 4. Ellie, 203C.
We have Ellie from Revolution performing back 1.5 somersault with a DD of 1.9, 203C. Just in case you're wondering what these numbers mean, we have a nifty little dive chart on our website at divemanitoba.ca/summary.
Judges award. 5.5, 6 across. Nancy, 303C.
We have Nancy from Forest City performing reverse 1.5 somersaults with a DD of 2.0, 303C.
Judges award. 6, 7, 5, 6.5, 6.5. Katie, 203C.
Next up, we have Katie from Forest City performing the back 1.5 somersault with a DD of 1.9 at 203C.
Judges award. 4.5, 5, 4.5, 5, 4.5. Annika, 205C.
Annika from Saskatoon, a back 2.5 somersault with a 2.8 DD. It's a big dive. 205C.
Judges award. 4, 4, 5, 4.5, 4.5. Next we have Finley, 203C.
Finley from Regina performing a back 1.5 somersault with a DD of 1.9, 203C.
Judges award. 6, 6.5, 6, 6, 6.5. Autumn, 205C.
Autumn from Saskatoon performing a back 2.5 somersault, DD of 2.8, 205C. Just a quick note, we'll be broadcasting all day, so visit our website at divemanitoba.ca and for our broadcast schedule on our website.
Judges award. 3, 2.5, 1.5, 3, 4. Rounding off, 7th round is Allison, the Dutch 203B.
Our final diver for this round, round 7 out of 9 rounds, we have Addison from Revolution, diving back 1.5 somersault, DD of 2.2.
Judges award. 5.5, 7, 4.5, 4.5, 5.5. Starting round 8 with Beth, 303C.
We have Beth performing a reverse 1.5 somersault, a DD of 2.0.
Judges award. 5.5, 5, 5.5, 5, 6. Audrey, 303B.
We have Audrey from Regina performing a reverse 1.5 somersault, a DD of 2.3. 303.
Judges award. 5, 6, 5.5, 5, 6. Brooklyn, 5134D.
Brooklyn from Regina, 5134D, performing a forward 1.5 somersault with 2 twists, a DD of 2.5.
Judges award. 6.5, 7, 6.5, 6.5, 7.
She did a great job.
203C.
With Mika on the board now from Regina, 203C, performing a back 1.5 somersault with DD 1.9.
Judges award. 5, 6, 5, 5, 6. Robin, 303C.
We have Robin from Revolution, performing a reverse 1.5 somersault with a DD of 2.0 in the tuck position.
Judges award. 4 across. Elizabeth, 303C.
Elizabeth from Saskatoon, a reverse 1.5 somersault, a DD of 2.0, also in a tuck position.
Judges award. 3, 3, 3, 3, 2.5. Anna, 303C.
Anna Wiley from Revolution, performing a reverse 1.5 somersault in the tuck position, a DD of 2.0. 303C.
Judges award. 5, 6, 6, 6, 6.5. Ellie, 303C.
Ellie from Revolution, reverse 1.5 somersault in the tuck position, a DD of 2.0.
Judges award. 3, 4.5, 4, 4, 4.5. Nancy, 403B.
Nancy out of Forest City, performing an inward 1.5 somersault in the tuck, in the pike position. Sorry, with a DD of 2.1.
Judges award. 5, 6, 5, 5.5, 5.5. Katie, 303C.
Katie out of Forest City, performing a reverse 1.5 somersault in a tuck position, 2.0 DD.
Judges award. 5, 5.5, 4.5, 5.5, 5. Annika, 405C.
Next on the board, we have Annika from Saskatoon, performing an inward 2.5 somersault in the tuck position, with a DD of 2.7.
Judges award. 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 4. Finley, 303C.
Finley from Regina performing a reverse 1.5 somersault in a tuck position with a DD of 2.0.
Judges award. 7, 7, 7.5, 7, 7. Autumn, 405C.
Autumn from Saskatoon performing an inward 2.5 somersault in a tuck position with a DD of 2.7.
Judges award. 5.5, 6.5, 7,
That's a
6.5,
tough dive.
6.
She really did a great job in that dive.
Addison, 303C.
Next up, we have Addison from Revolution. Reverse 1.5 somersault in a tuck position, 2.0 DD.
Judges award. 6, 6, 6, 6, 5.
As you can see by our leaderboard, our leader now is Brooklyn Markison with a score of 309.8, followed up by Annika Park from Saskatoon and Autumn Johnson from Saskatoon. Fourth place followed closely by Addison Downey with a great event, folks. Next up, in our final round, we have Beth from Kitchener-Waterloo forming an inward 2.5 somersault in a tuck position, DD of 2.7.
Judges award. 4.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 4. Audrey, 405C.
Audrey from Regina performing an inward 2.5 somersault in a tuck position, a DD of 2.7 as well.
Judges award. 7, 6.5 across. Brooklyn, 105B.
Our leader after 8 rounds, Brooklyn from Regina, performing a forward 2.5 somersault in a pike position with a DD of 2.4.
Judges award. 7, 7,
Great dive.
7.5, 7.5, 7. Mika, 303C.
Mika from Regina performing a reverse 1.5 somersault in a tuck position, a DD of 2.0.
Judges award. 1.5, 2, 1.5 across. Robin, 403C.
Next on board, we have Robin from Revolution performing an inward 1.5 somersault in a tuck position, a DD of 1.9.
Judges award. 6, 6.5, 6, 5.5, 6.5. Elizabeth, 403C.
Next on board, we have Elizabeth from Saskatoon performing an inward 1.5 somersault in a tuck position, DD of 1.9. So DD equals degree of difficulty. The more difficult the dive is, the higher point value they can achieve with higher scores.
Judges award 6, 6, 5, 5, 6. Anna, 403C.
Next on the board, we have Anna from Revolution, performing an inward 1.5 somersault, also in a tuck position, a DD of 1.9. Just a reminder, if you're in Winnipeg, come on down to the Pan Am Pool and watch this great diving live. There's no
Judges
charge
award
for admission.
7, 7, 7.5, 7, 7.
That was a great dive by Anna.
Ellie, 403C.
Next up, we have Ellie from Revolution, performing an inward 1.5 somersault, also in the tuck position, a DD of 1.9.
Judges award 6, 6, 6.5 across. Nancy, 105C.
Nancy from Forest City, performing a forward 2.5 somersault in a tuck position, 2.2 DD.
Judges award 7, 6.5, 7 across. Katie, 403B.
Next on the board, Katie from Forest City, performing an inward 1.5 somersault, a DD in a pike position, performing a DD of 2.1.
Judges award 6.5, 6, 8,
Really good
6.5, 7.
dive for Katie.
Annika, 5233D.
Annika from Saskatoon, performing a back 1.5 somersault with 1.5 twists in a free position. The degree of difficulty is 2.4. This is a big dive for Annika. It's 5233D.
Judges award
Well done.
5, 5.5, 5.5, 5, 5. Finley, 405C.
Finley, out of Regina Diving, performing a forward 2.5 somersaults in a tuck position with a DD of 2.7.
Judges award 2, 3.5, 3, 2.5, 3. Autumn, 5233D.
Our second last diver for the women's beach 3 meter, we have Autumn from Saskatoon, performing a back 1.5 somersault with a 1.5 twist in a free position, the DD of 2.4. It's a 5233 D dive. Let's see how Autumn does. This is a big dive.
Judges award 6, 5, 6.5, 6,
Outstanding.
5. And our final diver, Addison, 405C.
And our final diver for this event, Addison, performing an inward 2.5 somersault in a tuck position, a DD of 2.7.
Judges award half, 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 1.5. That concludes the women's B 3-meter event. Thank you to our judges, coaches, and our divers.